It is such an honor to talk to you today about my mother, Betty. Just an amazing individual who had such a zest for life, even though she grew up with many health issues. And so when she was in her late 40s, she was diagnosed with diabetes. And even though it was very jolting and in a very severe form of diabetes very quickly, she took it in stride and figured it out. Unfortunately, years into her diabetes, she had a blister on her foot, what she felt was a blister. And because of her feet being so deformed from arthritis, she just thought she had rubbed it wrong in a shoe. It was no big deal, went to the doctor. He diagnosed it as ringworm. This was her general practitioner that had been her general practitioner since 1975. So he knew everything about her health history, yet he did not diagnose her correctly. What she actually had was critical limb threatening ischemia. It was beyond repair. Unfortunately, it became necrotic tissue, which, for those of you who aren't familiar with that, that's dead tissue on her foot. When this world renowned interventional cardiologist went in to tell my mother that she was going to have a below the knee amputation, he started to cry because he felt like he wanted to save her leg, that it was so important. And when he failed, he didn't know how to tell her. And you think this man has told millions of patients this same story, but she just was such a special case. And then she felt so bad. She felt like she had let him down because she had to have a below the knee amputation. But he did say at that time, please take her to a vascular surgeon and let them try. So we took her to a vascular surgeon in Cincinnati, Ohio, who also is world renowned. And he tried everything. When you have a procedure such as this, typically the patient can hear everything that's happening in the room. They're not put into a deep enough sleep to obviously, miss everything. So she was able to hear that they had tried all these different devices to do everything possible to save her leg. And he came out and he said, I'm so sorry. Dr. Ansel was correct. We could not save her leg. So she said, okay, I'm ready. Let's get this done. Let's get this amputation over with so I can get my prosthesis, so I can get my license renewed in July. Months from now, she was ready because she had been in so much pain, and she finally understood that a lot of the pain she was suffering from was actually because her foot was dead. Recovery was brutal for her, but she never gave up. She continued to do her rehab. She was very good in her rehab. She finally got her below the knee prosthesis. They put it on. It fits so beautifully. They helped her walk around the rehab center that day, and she said it was a new lease on life. She said, it's like one of the best days of my life. I'm so excited. My life can go on, and I can do this. A week later, she contracted another infection, and unfortunately, it went on to become C. diff, which is a deadly infection, especially in elderly patients or immune-compromised patients. And within a couple of weeks, she died. From the diagnosis, the end of December until May, that is such a short disease progression, but that just tells you if you don't get this diagnosed early enough, it can be a very short-lived and a very brutal process for these patients. So my advice to you is to, when you talk to your healthcare provider, if there's anything unusual with your feet, in your legs, any problems with walking, don't discount it for gout. Don't discount it for old age or arthritis, or, this is just the way it is. It could be something deadly that can absolutely be fixed if you get it diagnosed early enough. So please don't wait.